important and most important. Those are the shlokas which we were um, that we were discussing. So let's. I mean, I was very fortunate to also have this was discussed again early this week with Shiva Prabhu when I was stopping over in Coimbatore. We had a very nice discussion. I think Shiva Prabhu, you have to probably share some of the points which we discussed for this 1510 and 1511. We only read the translation, but 1510, that is Nayadvacha Chitrapadam Hare Yasho. Some of the points which we discussed, if you can share, Prabhu, that will be very helpful for the rest of the team. So can we first recite the verse? Anyone can recite the verse, and then we can go to the word for word again, because these are most important shlokas. It is important that we focus on them a little bit more deeper, because Prabhupada writes between these two shlokas, the 11th shloka, he writes at the beginning of every Bhagavatam volume. If you see in the every book, if you see in the beginning of the I mean to say the preface or introduction, you will see that this 1511 verse is beautifully quoted, and that is preceded by 1510, which I think we should try to meditate on. See, this 1511 is quoted in Prabhupada's preface, actually. Two shlokas that are quoted. One is that Kaumaram Acharit Prajnaha 761, and the next shloka that Prabhupada quotes is 1511. It shows every single volume this verse is quoted repeatedly, and that shows the importance of the shloka, and it is also wonderful to read the purport. So we will try to focus on these two shlokas today, if not two, at least one of them. I would like devotees to share your realizations, thoughts, your reflections that we get out of this shloka. So can I request any one of you to recite this shloka 1510? Anyone who would like to recite the shloka? Shiva Prabhu, we were reciting this. Why don't you do the recitation? You or maybe Suganya Mataji, one of you. I don't know if Mataji is also there with you. I thought since her login ID was there, I thought she is also there.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Dhanavad Pranam. Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji is not here, Prabhuji. From my laptop, two instances got opened. One from my instance and the other from her instance.
That's okay.
I don't know.
No worries. No worries. You can, one of us can recite. It's a
I'll
very
try.
important recite. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, I'll try my best. Nayat Vajas Chitrapadam 1510, right?
1510, correct. You're reading the right verse only.
Okay. Hare Yasho Jagat Pavitram
Pragrunita Karhichit.
Pragarnita Karchichit.
Karhichit.
Karhichit. Tad Vayasam Tirthaham Ushanti Manasa Nayatra Hamsa Nirmanyati.
I think you are reading from the Sanskrit, right, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So if you are having the Hindi background and if you are reading the Sanskrit, that Niramanti, many times people read it as Nirmanti. Actually, it is Niramanti, So Nayatra Hamsa Niramanti Ushikshayaha. So that is the thing. So anyway, I will, yes, Hamsa. Please do that. Nayatra Hamsa.
Okay, Prabhuji. You can.
Okay. So, okay, someone can, anyone else would like to read it? Recite it, I mean.
Shall I try?
Please, Prabhu.
न यद्वचश्चेत्रपदं हरेर्यशो जगत्पवित्रं प्रगृणीत कर्हि चेत् तद्वायसं तीर्थमुशन्ति मानसा न यत्र हंसा निरमन्त्युशिक्षयाः.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. I was wondering anyone would be able to share the screen. Who is doing it from a computer can do that, you know.
Let me try, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Oh, that's Gauranga. Background. He is ready to be a Bhagavata. Nice, Prabhu.
Prabhu.
So,
Yes,
we don't know which time bomb is, you know. So please share the screen, Prabhu. So now let's read the word for word in the meantime. Anyone who has the access to the book now, please read the word for word.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I?
Please go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah. Word to word by Srila Prabhupada. Na, not. Yat, that. Vachah, vocabulary. Chitra padam, decorative. Hareh, of the Lord. Yasah, glories. Jagat, universe. Pavitram, sanctified. Prag,
Sanctified,
Pragaranita,
sanctified, sanctified.
sanctified. Pragan, Pragaranita, described.
Pragranita, pragranita.
Pragrinita, described. Karhichit, hardly. Tat, that. Vyasam, crows.
Vayasam.
Vyasam, crows. Tirtham, place of pilgrimage. Usanti, think. Manasaha, Usanti, think. Usanti, think. Manasaha, saintly persons.
Manasaha.
Manasaha, saintly persons. Na, not. Yatra, where. Hamasaha, all perfect beings. Niramanti, take pleasure. Usik, kasayah, those who.
No. Ushikshaya.
Usik,
Ushikshaya. Sha is in Shahar.
Usikshayaha, those who reside in the transcendental abode.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So anyone else would like to read the translation, please?
May I, Prabhuji?
Please, Prabhu.
Those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly persons to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. Since the all perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure there.
So beautiful shloka, you know, very strong and powerful. It compares those who are taking pleasure in non-Krishna conscious or you know that those literatures which do not have anything to do with Krishna or spiritual life or devotional service. It is like place of pilgrimage for crows. Even crows go on a pilgrimage. Crows also go on a pilgrimage. Pilgrimage means in a group they go, right? They can, of course, they can go alone or they can go in a group. Either way, it's pilgrimage. But crows usually don't go alone; they go in a group. And you see, there is a big difference between these two. Now, before we get into that, Shiva Prabhu, you should be able to pitch in on this important some of the important words which we focused on in this verse. Can somebody find out something which is unique here? This word for word. Something is very interesting. And Prabhupada has really done a wonderful job here in terms of bringing something very, very special. You saw something odd or unique?
Prabhuji, I have
So,
noted down those words,
yeah.
but we should give the benefit to others, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's why wait. I was going to tell you that if no one else finds out, then you can share them.
Prabhuji, Chitra Padam decorative.
So what about it?
Actually, it is not coming here in translation, and that's why I said decorative word.
No, I mean, no, the described decoration, that is kind of, no, described is Pragranita. There is a very interesting thing there. There's a interesting word. The Chitrapadam is also nice. We will come to that. But something which is unique, if you have to look into.
You are creating interest, Prabhuji.
One minute. Sorry, Gaurav Prabhu.
So I was saying, Prabhu, you are creating the interest for us to read it carefully.
Yeah, otherwise you would jump out, When I say most important sloka, we should get into that a little bit. I think Uma Mataji was telling something. Yes, Mataji, you were saying something. That also is there. Nice. I mean, I'm not denying anything. These are all words one by one. We'll just pick the words and then keep them together, and then we will try to put them together. So that will give us a experience of how Prabhupada is, separating these words, like enjoying each one of them independently, and then putting them all together in the form of a translation. So it's like that. So in the word for word, he's splitting them all and giving us the individual taste for each of those words. And then he's combining them all together and putting them into one thing. Like say, for example, Shrikanda separately, it is really good. And then Pudi separately you can eat, right? And then you mix the both of them together, then that will have a very different, interesting taste, isn't it? I don't know, South Indians cannot enjoy that taste. Gaurav Prabhu is smiling, I saw that. Because whenever I go to Pune, this devotees pack this lunch for me. Puri with Shrikand. Or Amras, Amras and Shrikand. That's a thing. So Prabhupada is like giving separate taste in the word for word meanings, and then he combines them together in the translation. So let's try to enjoy them separately and see why they are tasty, unique. So what other words? Both are nice. Every word will have its own beautiful meanings here. So let's know. We have so far we have told Ushikshayaha, then Chitrapadam. Anything?
Prabhu, Niramanti, taking pleasure.
Niramanti is taking pleasure. Beautiful. Okay. Not
Prabhuji,
just
I think,
happiness, it's pleasure. Yes, Prabhuji.
yeah, Vayasam Tirtham, like a crow's place of pilgrimage, that two word I feel.
Yes. That's very nice. Okay, then.
Prabhu, Pragarita, describing
Pragranita.
Pragranita.
Pragranita, yes. Yes, described. Okay. Leave the words like na, yat, tat, etc., yatra, etc. Those are regular words, right? Beyond that, some words will be very interesting.
Prabhu, Jagat Pavitram. No?
Yes. Oh, that's Govardhan Prabhu. I was wondering who is going. Jagat Pavitram. Yes, Govardhan Prabhu. That's nice. Jagat Pavitram is, it's the sanctifying the whole universe. Yes.
Because wherever we describe, it's not only that location which gets purified, it's the entire universe.
Yeah. True. It's the atmosphere. It's that's why he's saying this verse. The atmosphere word is used here, not place or some location, etc. It's atmosphere. Atmosphere can expand. Place cannot expand.
And Manasa is saintly persons.
Correct. And Manasa word is used in Bhagavatam to specifically to address Narad Muni in many places. Like Vritarasura's prayers, if you see that Manasa word is used, he is praying that Manasa means he is referring to Narad Muni, who is his guru. So now Vritarasura's guru is Narad Muni. In other words, Vritarasura remembers his past life, where Chitraketu Narad Muni gave him his mercy. So, and few other places also this word is used to refer to Narad Muni. But this verse itself is spoken by Narad Muni, and he is speaking as Manasa. He is, referring to all saintly persons in general.
Yes.
And
Prabhuji, just
Hansa,
Tirtham.
Sorry, one by one. Who is that? Chitra Mataji.
Is this Tirtham that is this word, because place of pilgrimage?
That is already included now. Why is some Tirtham? So someone, I think Hariprasad Prabhu, someone was telling that why is some Tirtham means place of pilgrimage for the crows. We will expand on that. We'll try to meditate a little bit more on that as we go along.
And Prabhuji, what about Hansa? All perfect beings.
All perfect beings. Correct. Hansa. Yes. Okay. That's also a good one.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Piyush Prabhu.
Krishna
Next
Prabhu.
to Rishikesh. Yes.
Those who recite Ushishayaha, those who reside in the transcendental abode.
I think that was also covered, Prabhu.
Okay.
That's also covered in the sense in selection. We are yet to meditate on it, no? So, Rishikesh Prabhu.
Prabhu, what about Karhichit? Hardly, like.
Hardly should go with hardly describe. So Karhichit Pragranita, like that it should come. So that is
hardly described about what?
Do not describe. Hardly describe. Very rarely. I mean, when it's one or two places only it is described. It's very rare. Okay. You have covered every single word except the word that I am looking for.
It is Vacha, Prabhu. It is
Vacha. Vacha.
It's like
okay.
Which you looked at all that which was not covered. So why now? It's okay. Let's now, because that is the beginning of this whole thing. Now let's try to meditate on each of them one by one. Why? These words itself, Vyasadeva is writing. See, from this chapter only, Vyasadev's, Narada Muni's instruction to Vyasadeva started. And after that, Vyasadeva started writing. But if you see, Bhagavatam starts from the first chapter where Vyasadeva writes the entire thing. So when Vyasadeva wrote Bhagavatam, he wrote it starting with the Janmadhyasya because Narada Muni instructed him, you glorify Krishna first. So whole and soul. So while writing that, like the stories and everything, he is writing about his own, like his autobiography is also included in this. You got it? So the Bhagavatam came into being because he is coming in the lineage, like how Vyasadeva got from Narad Muni, how Sukadeva Goswami from Vyasadeva, and how Parikshit Maharaj got from Sukadeva Goswami, and in that process how Suta Goswami got it, and how he gave to the rishis. So those are also included. So in this 5th chapter, he is starting off with this. So Vyasadeva is choosing the best words to write these most important shlokas. Unless and until Prabhupada has given us this, he has thrown this light upon the important shlokas, we would not be, we will just have read and gone. Yes, okay, it talks about crows, suns, something about universe, clean, purified, whatever, and then we will move on. But why the crows and swans are compared? Why this vacha word is used? Nayat vachaha, not vacha, vachaha. Vachaha means normally what we will say.
Speech, Prabhu. Speech.
Speech. Vacha. Vachaha. Vachaha means what other things we will use? Speech, then words, statements, whatever, right? Why would Prabhupada use vocabulary? What is the meaning of vocabulary?
Collection of words.
Collection of words or a repository of words? It's a godown of words actually, right? It's a vocabulary book, right? Vocabulary book, thesaurus book. We all used to have read this in our young ages. So what does that mean? Like vocabulary means he is a very rich vocabulary he has. So what does that mean? You say no, he's a very rich in his vocabulary.
Usage of the words.
Sorry, Chanchalvati Prabhu.
Knowing lots of words.
So knowing lots of words means he can use whichever word he can use the best of words to describe.
As per the context, we can use. He can use the word.
Yes. Right. You can say any specific thing, one small word itself you can take and you can say that there's so many 10, 15 different ways of expressing it. In English itself, there are many ways to say some small one particular word itself. We can use so many different ways. So when you are doing this, your vacha means they are describing, but they are describing. There's a whole compendium of words from which they can choose the best words to represent thing. Right? Nayat vachaha chitrapadam harer yasho means Harir Yasha, Krishna's glories, right? They have to be decoratively described. In other words, you are beautifying Krishna by your words. So when you are beautifying, for example, you are dressing the deities. Will you put the same garland and same jewels and dress color every day? You keep changing, isn't it? To make you, why you are changing? Not because you are bored with the other one. You are still liking that also, but you want to offer newer and newer, the best things, fresh ones to Krishna every single day. Right? So that is decoration. And you do use your intelligence to decorate him nicely. Why? Because you want Krishna to be glorified and enjoyed by everybody. Yes or no? We want everybody to enjoy Krishna's darshan, correct? So this is exactly why this word vocabulary is used by Prabhupada. He could have simply used the word speech or words or statements, whatever. But why he is using the vocabulary means a library of words. And every single time you can choose, new words to represent the choicest best words to be used. That is why Uttama Shloka. Krishna is also called Uttama Shloka. What that means? Choice words, prayed with choice words. Selected, best thing you select and give, right? So that is why Vachaha is vocabulary. So same thing he can represent in different ways every time. And they are taking so much strain to express this. That's now whatever Vyasadeva was doing with the Sanskrit words, Prabhupada is doing with the English words. You just take one word, Shraddha, and you just choose all the different ways he has represented. Okay, let's try to do it right away. I think who is sharing the screen here? Is that is that Gaurav Prabhu sharing the screen here?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhu, you take the verse Shraddha. What is that? Word 1 to 12. Try to take this word 1 to 12. Tat Shraddha Dana. Shraddha Dana is there. Okay. No, 325-25, Prabhu. Ratir Bhakti, Shraddha, Ratir Bhakti, Anukramishya. 325-25. So now come down a bit. Click on that Shraddha word in the word for word meaning.
Firm faith.
Firm faith.
No, click on it. Click on it. Click on Shraddha. Now come down and see. You see how many different ways Prabhupada has referred this word for Shraddha. It's a very common word, but you see faith in goodness, by devotion, by faith, by respect, confidence, faith due to love. Many times he has used this word faith due to love. If you go up a little bit, you will see that Shraddha word has so many different meanings as per the context. Go up a little bit, Prabhu. You come to the end. Go up, go up. I saw quite a few with the love in faith and devotion, with faith and love, soft faith, komal shraddha. Then go up with great faith and love again. Faith and love. So many with faith and love is there. You see, if this is only one word, and Prabhupada has taken up so much strain to give the right contextual meaning. Like this, you can select from the online. You can select any particular word and click on it, and you will see so many all the different references of that word. Is a nice useful tool here to in this online thing to help us appreciate Prabhupada's words. So you can go back. You can go back to our sloka. Just one second.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry about that. So when we come back to these words, now this vachaha, Prabhupada is referring to vocabulary. Means both sides we are trying. One side, non-Krishna conscious literature also, they are trying to express with so many different words. But that is not bringing any happiness or peace in this world, any good things in this world. On the other hand, now this not only that is vocabulary, it's also decorative vocabulary. It's so nicely used to decorate. But you see, there are so many people who are writing their own autobiography. People out of curiosity, they go and purchase and they read, right? After some time, you keep on reading that for the whole life. You just read once and throw it away, right? It's just you don't touch it again at all. Because there is no transcendence, touch of transcendence in it. Whereas repeatedly we are reading Bhagavad Gita, repeatedly we are reading Bhagavatam. Why we are getting the taste? Why we are again and again reading it? Why every time it looks new? Because the decoration done to Krishna is when Krishna is pleased, then the whole world is pleased. Jagat Pavitram. The whole universe is sanctified by this. That is why Chitrapadam Harer Yasha Jagat Pavitram. Harer Yasha means Krishna's glories. Krishna's glories, if you describe like Alankar, like Sukadeva Goswami also beautifully prays in his the last verse of his prayer. So Alankrishishta Bhagavan Vachamsi me. You take this verse, Gaurav Prabhu, 2:4. last verse actually. 2:423. Utairmahadbir yayimah puro vibhur nirmayashete yadamushu purushaha bhunte gunan shodashatmakaha solankrishishta bhagavan vachamsi me. So alankrishishta, may decorate. I am praying to Krishna that let him come and decorate my words, which I am going to speak from now on. So this is this prayer before he starts answering Parikshit Maharaj's questions. Alankrishishta, alankar karna. No? So we say alankar. We do that alankar. No? So what he's saying is, in other words, only when Krishna comes and resides in those words, it can actually look beautiful. The words can be beautiful. Without Krishna's presence, they are all dead words. It doesn't bring a dead man into life. It can make a live man into dead, but it cannot. What these words of Krishna's glorification do is that it can even bring a dead man to life. What is that shloka? A very beautiful shloka by Akrura. Shavashopana. 1 minute. It is 10th canto, 40. When he's Akrura's prayers. 37:12, huh? 1 minute. Bring it up. There's another interesting verse related to 10:38:12. If you can take 10:38:12, yeah. Is another beautiful word which is very much closely related to this one. Can somebody read this one? This is also Upajati only.
Let me try, Prabhuji. Yasyakilami vahabhi sumangale vacho vimishra gunakarma janmibhi prananti shubhanti punanti prananti shubhanti punanti vai jagat yastad viraktah shavashobhanamataha.
So beautiful, huh? Let's read the translation.
All sins are destroyed and all good fortune is created by the Supreme Lord's qualities, activities, and appearances, and words that describe these things animate, beautify and purify the world.
No. These three things: animate, beautify, and purify.
Purify the world. On the other hand, words bereft of his glories are like the decoration on a corpse.
See, this is very similar to this one. No? In this verse, again, you're saying Akila Amiva Habihi destroys all the sins of this whole universe. And not only the destroys, it also creates a fortune, good fortune. Sumangalaha. What is that? Words. Vimishraha means mixed words that are, that are mixed, joined together. What are the three things? Guna, karma, janma bihi. Krishna's guna, Krishna's karma, and Krishna's janma. All these three things are glorified by these words. When these words glorify these three things, etc., what do? They give life. Prananti. They give life to the world. And then they beautify. Shumbanti, when Shobana. Shumbanti. And then Punanti. Same Punanti, we also have this thing here. Right? Jagat Pavitram. So Prananti, Shumbanti, Punanti. You see the three things, beautiful things. They give life to the dead world. Prabhupada has given life to the dead language called English by using it in Krishna service. Anything that is dead, like even Dhruva Maharaj is also praying this, no? What does he say? 496. Sanjeevayati Akila Shakti Dara Swadamna. It's all dead. My swachas, everything was dead till now. You have entered into Yonta Pravishya. You have entered into Yonta Pravishya Mamavacham Imam Prasuptam. So far it was dead, inactive and dead. And you have entered into my Vacha and you have rejuvenated, you have brought it back to life. So our life is brought, I mean, we are brought back to life from dead whenever Krishna enters into our life. Krishna manifests in our life. And that is what is these Bhagavatam shlokas that Narada Muni is telling, that whenever you let Krishna enter into your life, then you become you become enlivened. Your life is brought back. So far whatever you have written is all dead literature. So let dead people, dead literature means crows go and enjoy only the place where it is dead literatures are there, isn't it? They're like, say, you see the examples. Crows, where do they stay? You keep say some chewed items, some waste garbage, and then you keep some very nice halwa, some sweet amras or whatever. Where will crow go first? It will go to the garbage only. Correct? Most of the time we see them in the gutter, garbage, and these places only you see crows. Which means there are two kinds of birds here being referred to, and they are referred to for two kinds of people. As wide as the difference between black and white. As wide as the difference between their habit. So this is very, very important word Prabhupada is using here. This vachaha, when you see those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone, there is no one else can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe. I can clean. There's a difference between cleaning and purifying or sanctifying. You see, now there is a place, your home. Every day, the person can come and clean that place and go. So that is only cleansing. But when you are cleaning it with the remembrance of connecting it with Krishna, when you are cleaning it thinking that this is Krishna's property, I should clean it more carefully. Or if that cleaning reminds you of Krishna, brings Krishna's memory into your life, into your thoughts, then that is sanctification. You see the difference? So cleansing is anybody can do, material cleansing everybody can do. When you are cleansing, within a short time, again the dirt will come. Dirt in our heart will come. But if you keep Krishna in our heart, do the service in such a way that Krishna is pleased. Because when is Krishna pleased? When I'm doing it very immaculately, thinking that this is Krishna's service, I have to do it immaculately. Then because of the thoughts of Krishna, Krishna is pleased. And that is why in the 8th verse he said, whichever things Krishna is not pleased, it's all garbage. Right? Bhavata anuditaha prayam yasho bhagavata amalam. That which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord, I consider as worthless. Correct? The 158 you're saying. So now here, Krishna is the only one who can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe. Now it's not sanctify the whole universe. He's saying sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe. What is the difference between these two wordings? You see, the reason we are getting into this closely is because even one word you take out, then the meaning will not be so relishable, you see. That's why Prabhupada has chosen the choice words in this translation. Who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe. What is that sanctification? We saw that. Now, what is atmosphere of the whole universe? What do you mean by atmosphere? Is atmosphere gross or subtle?
Conscious, subtle.
Subtle.
Atmosphere is subtle. So what does that mean by subtle?
maybe about vibrations.
Yeah, atmosphere means it includes the vibration. Vibe, they call it, no? Somebody is carrying the vibe. Like you are very
Vibe.
cheerful when you come, you make that whole place cheerful, isn't it? Like somebody is very jovial. When even by thinking of that jovial, that person's jovial nature, you become jovial. You become happy, isn't it? Somebody who is really grave, you think of that person, then naturally you get that quality for at least for that momentary time when you are thinking about him. Yes or no? So that person, even without his physical presence, is able to create an impact in that surrounding. That is what is called atmosphere. You can sanctify that just by remembering Krishna only. You become cheerful. So Krishna is not simply sanctifying, purifying alone. He is bringing a whole um, paradigm shift in our thought process. You see that how it is working. So when you are really with, say, certain people, you will feel like, hey, this is very nice. I want to enjoy his association. Why you do that? Because that person is carrying the atmosphere with him, that vibe with him or her, right? So this is the very important thing to note, because atmosphere can stay on for a longer period than the physical elements. The effect of that physical elements presence, gross elements presence, will last longer in its subtle form. Like say, for example, fire is there. After the fire can be there for some time. Once the thing goes off, the fuel goes off, fire goes away. But the heat is continuing on for some more time, no? Right? Water is also gone, but then the water's effect of that wetness is continuing for some more time, isn't it? So that is why that gross elements have their subtle nature. Same way, this air which carries the Vedic sound vibration, air may keep moving here and there, but it leaves that effect of that vibration in that, say, so and so place wherever people are receiving it. Say, air is carrying the smell also, the fragrance also, correct? It keeps going with that fragrance. Whoever is able to smell it, then they get that fragrance, and so they are enjoying that smell. But by the time you finish enjoying, that air would have moved further, correct? And it would have caught some other scent, some other fragrance, and keep moving on. Yes or no? So this atmosphere is something which continues by in the subtle form. That's why now Prabhupada's he has created this atmosphere in so many places. In every temple which has Prabhupada's Murti, every temple which discusses his books or meditates on his books, they sanctify that place. Because Prabhupada sanctified this English language also by using it in Krishna's service through Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and all his books. So there are many things about atmosphere. No, it's just a small thing that we are talking about. But if you go deeper and deeper into each of these words, you will not feel like ending this verse at all. Now we are still in the word for word, by the way. We have not even gone into the purports and all it. So this Visa Vachaha, Visa Chitra Padam, decoration. Decoration means you are doing it such a joy that, hey, I want Krishna to be loved by everyone in this world. I want his words to be appreciated and followed by everyone in the world. That is why they are taking each and every verse or any thing with relation to so many things, and people are explaining in so many different ways. Otherwise, it is just a Shava Shobhana Mataha, means you are just decorating the dead corpse, that's all. They don't stay longer. See, somebody is dead. You just speak about that person, glorifying him for one day. He is such and such a person, so on and so forth. But after that, you forget about him, isn't it? How long you will keep remembering that person? Because it is only a gross bodily connection only we have had, because of which they retreat, recede from our memory. Whereas Krishna, every time we have not seen Krishna in factual thing, if you have to say that. I mean, we have seen him in the deity form. Have we seen like we are all moving persons like that? Have we seen? No. But still, how we are able to appreciate him? Because the words which are describing him are as good as Krishna, as not different from Krishna. So seeing those words, chanting those words, hearing the explanation of those words, we are experiencing Krishna. So it gives that anubhav, this especially in the being in that atmosphere. Yes, Suresh Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Rukmini has just heard his stories, and then she
beautiful.
decided to surrender everything.
Exactly. She just heard about his Leela, that's all, about his qualities. And she writes a love letter to him. It is nowadays people are talking about love between two people without seeing. This is the Adi, the original love without seeing each other. And Krishna also has not seen Rukmini, but he was also very happy to accept her. Yes, Gaurav Prabhu.
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. So, Prabhuji, if we see, Srila Prabhupada describes the word vacha also in many ways, if we see.
Yeah. He says words, yes, statements. Click on that vacha. Click on that vacha.
Should I open this, Prabhu? Should I share that?
Yeah, click that vacha. Yes, share it. Just if you click on it, it will come. But we are seeing only the yes. Words. See, arthavat vachaha means full of meanings. And Shukra's vachaha is warning of Shukracharya. Then there is a statements. Only in very few places he has used this word vocabulary. And then vachaha also means instruction. How much hold narration, speaking, speeches, amazing request, vachaha, commands, so many ways. That which specifically what do you call addresses or that particular instance, he is using those words. This exercise itself is a huge exercise to appreciate Prabhupada's hold on this language, command on this language. And in spite of that, he is telling in the 11th verse that I am very poor in this language, in this English language. So let's go further. Now let's get to the next one. Jagat Pavitram, we said, it. How it is Jagat Pavitram? Can somebody explain how it is be able to sanctify the whole universe?
Krishna's words itself is that transcendental voice, and that vibrations purify the entire this thing. He is a Shuddham Apapa Viddham.
So no, 1 minute. No, that's correct, Prabhu. He is Shuddham Apapa Viddham. Very nice verse from Ishopanishad. Yes. But now we are only some 18, 15, 20 efforts we are discussing here. We are discussing about Krishna only. Right? Now, do you think this discussion will do Jagat Pavitram? And if so, how?
The vibrations of Krishna's description will purify the surroundings, because
the words are where it is going. It's only within this computer or all our online thing. What else? Where else it is going beyond this? I'm not keeping a mic and distributing it to the whole of wherever we are. How can you are speaking on mute, Prabhu?
Since Krishna's description is transcendental, it can be heard by Krishna directly himself when we speak with a very feeble voice.
What is transcendental?
Transcendental is Transcendental is not from material. It is minus material. There is no material thing.
It is not affected by the three gunas or the impact of the material modes. In other words, it doesn't have a beginning and an end. Material modes are those things which make the thing look material, means there is always be a destruction. It will create, come into being, and will be destroyed eventually. So they will not stay forever. Transcendence means that which can stay forever. That is the thing. Okay, is transcendental. Now, how it really goes further and further. If you have to say Jagat Pavitram, now say assume that we are just 18 of us here. Assume that we are all sanctified. We are all sanctified by this discussion. Now, how this will go beyond this this Zoom call or the Teams call to go further and expand its influence? Yes,
Prabhuji,
somebody was telling. Chanchalpati Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, it is said that in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter that everything, all spiritual and materials is within me. Krishna is saying, Sarva,
Yes.
Aham Sarvasprabhu Matta.
That is 10th chapter. Yes, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. Okay.
Everything is within Krishna. So now
Yes.
we are describing about the glories of Krishna. So Krishna is there. So through Krishna, it is all atmosphere is getting sanctified.
Yes, but the thing is how this keeps moving on. I mean, moving further and further, expanding further and further. This partially you covered, Prabhu. Like Krishna is there in these words. Like Krishna is expanding. Krishna can cover, like Vamandev, he can cover the entire universe just in one step. All that we have seen that. Now, how this becomes Jagat Pavitram is, it starts with our Pavitram. We are first of all sanctified by this, by discussing and glorifying and Machita, Madgada Prana, this thing. Okay. So our qualities are refined, purified. We become the transcendental qualities come and reside in us. Okay. Now what happens is, now we are going everywhere. We carry Krishna with us. So wherever we go with this transcendental qualities occurred because of remembrance of Krishna, you go and speak something to someone there. There also it is again pavitram. We are purifying there also. Like that is one way of understanding this Jagat Pavitram. Okay. The second thing is that when we remember Krishna, Krishna expands all over. That is the beauty of of these words. He goes everywhere. He carries. He carries the person with him. Whoever carries Krishna in his heart, Krishna moves them to one place, to another place, to another place. That's why Prabhupada, Narada Muni, all of them are carriers of Krishna. Because of being carriers of Krishna, they are being carried by Krishna everywhere. Only when you are carried by Krishna, you can travel to various places, or some you can be a residence of Krishna, so that even you may either you may then travel and give Krishna to others, or Krishna will send someone to you where you are, and he will make them receive Krishna from you. This is how Krishna is arranging this whole Jagat Pavitram. Each one of us become carriers of Krishna in our heart. And that one person hearing, let's say, suppose you are sitting here, you hear that so-and-so Maharaj is really done a great job. Somebody is sending some information about, says, a particular saintly personality. Then as soon as you hear about them, you start getting inspired by them, or hear from them. You start getting inspired by them. And then you develop some qualities. Right? There is a beautiful word Prabhupada uses in the translation, but it is not in the word for word. Can somebody identify that? Because I'm trying to connect it to what we are discussing. Shiva Prabhu, we were discussing some points there with us, between us. Do you see some other points also coming in the same in this?
I'm searching my notes now. Is it Paramahamsa?
No.
No. Okay.
All perfect beings, I think, is already saying no saintly persons, all perfect persons. There's one particular word he is using in the word for word, sorry, in the translation, but that's not there in the word to word meaning. We are telling the other way. This Chitrapadam is not used here. And there's one beautiful word he is using in translation, but that's not there in the meanings, synonyms.
Who
Atmosphere,
alone?
Prabhuji.
Sorry?
Alone.
Alone. That we discussed. Alone. Krishna is the only one who can sanctify the atmosphere. Okay. What else?
Inhabitants.
Thank you. You got it. So what does that? What is the speciality of this word?
They are the carriers of Krishna as transcendental vibrations.
Carriers is one thing, but what is that word inhabitant refer to?
They do not belong to this world, Prabhu.
No, I'm only asking about the word inhabitant.
And the beauty of that devotee association lies in this message, isn't it true?
Yes.
Why so many exalted devotees demanding with Lord himself, Lord, you give us the association of the devotees. I think only for this reason.
So, any idea? Yes, Prabhuji.
Inhabitant means, Prabhuji, they are habituated in glorification of Krishna.
Yeah. So this habit word is there. Inhabitant. Inhabitant means you have habituated your. That word is very nice. Piyush Prabhu used this word. Habituated means you are used to, I mean, it has become your habit, isn't it? They say it's an inherent quality. Habit means somebody is carrying this habit of, it's not something that is forced upon them. It's something which is naturally coming for them. That is called habit.
In other words,
Yes,
it's an addiction, positive addiction.
Yeah, habit is also. I mean, I'm having this smoking habit. They call it smoking addiction. So I mean to say, without doing that, you cannot exist. Right? So, Prabhupada is using two different words, one in the meaning, one in the translation. Both are very sweet. Right? The first, we'll look into this. Inhabitants means they are habituated to living there. Suppose you live in Chennai, people are habituated to living in hot summer, or they are not used to extreme weather because Chennai doesn't have extremities of weather. Right? Whereas if you go to say Delhi, there is extreme weather. One side it is extremely cold, another side is extremely hot. But people are habituated to living there. It's a natural thing for them. Nobody has to. I mean, they don't hate that. They become used to that thing that they get. You can. They'll just live there, irrespective of whatever it is. Correct. So these crows also are habituated to live in garbage. This Manasa people, Hamsa people are also habituated to live in spiritual environment, atmosphere. And you cannot put a swan in the garbage place or crow in the thing directly. That is essence. In other words, they will like suppose I am always in Chennai and suddenly you put me in some cold place like in December month, in November, December, January, that month in Delhi. I'm not used to that cold weather, I will get sick because I'm not habituated to that place. So they are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, means they are so habituated to being with Krishna that they cannot imagine a time without being in Krishna. Those are the people who can do Jagat Pavitra by carrying Krishna with them. So if we have to also do Jagat Pavitram service as Prabhupada, actually the instruction given by Prabhupada and our Guru Maharajas is to be to do Jagat Pavitram by carrying the message of Krishna everywhere,
Yes.
or chanting his holy names. Isn't it? So that we are right now we are being forced to do this in the middle of our whatever. But from a spiritual point of view, what we are doing is actually acquired thing. What we are in the modes, what we are doing, that is the imposed thing. That is not our natural thing. What we are doing as a realized knowledge, speaking or understanding, that is our constitutional thing. We always think the reverse. You got that point? So we are actually, the soul is habituated to the transcendental abode. That's what Prabhupada is telling here. And the other word which he is using here is a reside word. Reside word, I think we discussed this in Adhyatmadipam, when somebody should be able to explain that word, residence, reside. Habituated and reside are very much connected. Do anyone remember that? We talked about residence and accommodation.
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Prabhu.
yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Who would like to do it? Subhashini Mataji, and after that Chanchalavati Prabhu. Subhashini
Residence,
Mataji.
permanent residence is a permanent accommodation, Prabhu. It's permanent place living.
Yeah.
Whereas the accommodation is we live for a temporary period and then we leave that place. Whereas residence, we permanently live in that place.
Yes, we permanently live in that place. Very nice, Mataji. Nice difference. And Sanchalavati Prabhu.
Prabhuji, at residence, we are at our free liberty. We can stay in whatever way we want. But at the accommodation, we have to look after the person on
adjust.
Whose, yes,
Accommodation means adjust. You are living in a foreign place, or you are going to some place where they are accommodating you, and you have to leave the place after some time. But residence means you can stay on as much as long as you are, and in whatever way, there is no formality, no rules and regulations. It's your home. You can do whatever you want.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right. So for Atma, this transcendental abode, in other words, wherever Krishna is described, wherever Krishna is glorified, that is a transcendental abode. It's not that you have to go all the way to some place to consider that that's a transcendental abode. Wherever you are experiencing Krishna, wherever Krishna is residing in our heart, that is again a transcendental abode. And when Krishna is residing in our heart becomes a transcendental abode, right? And when we remember Krishna, we ourselves become transcendental abode. And when you keep moving, and you keep touching everybody, like the magnet touches iron and converts the iron also into magnet, that way we are doing Jagat Pavitram everywhere. That's the whole idea here. That's the importance of the words describing the glories of the Holy, of the Supreme Lord. We also use this inhabitant word for birds, isn't it?
Birds of same feather flocks together, Guruji.
No, they flock together, but in inhabitants, we always use this word to represent the birds. They come and like the, what is that? Sanctum, no, sanctuary. We call it sanctuary. Bird sanctuary, we say, no? So that is, use the word inhabitant there. They travel everywhere, but they just come to a specific place and they stay there for their relaxation or whatever. So in Krishna's glorification, we can be completely relaxed. We can be completely at peace, at home, There's no foreign thing. So wherever you go, I mean, you don't see that as a foreign place because you get a chance to speak about Krishna. That place is again, it's not foreign. Like we keep traveling everywhere. We don't find any big difference. You are in one day one place, you are in another day another place. It's a little bit of prasadam, little bit of place to sleep, whatever. Then do your duty and just sit there with Bhagavatam and do it. So this whole world becomes a place of habituation or sanctuary for us. Like the birds, they travel miles together, right? Even after they travel miles together, they stay in one place where they can um, feel at home, right? So that is how it's these words are so beautiful because they are so much enjoying Krishna's pleasure. They cannot derive any pleasure in the garbage thing. So essentially what Narada Muni is telling is that you are a Manasa yourself, you are a Hamsa yourself. But unfortunately, you have written these books which are enjoyed maybe to the crow-like people. So just because these crow-like people are, because you are yourself are a Manasa, you cannot enjoy it yourself because you yourself not enjoying. That is why you are in depression. You are despondent. So what a beautiful way of starting the whole this thing. If we have to read this one chapter only, minimum we will need 40 weeks. 40 verses are there. Minimum. This one verse will take 3-4 weeks to do. We have not even come to the purport. And still time is over. How much Prabhupada must have been thinking about all these each and every word. Crows also do pilgrimage. They also speak. They also have a conference call. But everybody is speaking, nobody is hearing, isn't it? That's how the office calls, office meetings, conference meetings happen. They feel that only by speaking they can be considered a very prominent and powerful person. So everybody speaks and no one hears. But in Hamsa thing, you see, there is no unnecessary sound. The thing is so peaceful, and that once in a while it makes a sound that also is very, very soothing to hear. And where they stay, the place is so beautiful. Prabhupada explains that so nicely in the purport. That's a fully surrounded, calm lake, quiet lake or river, whatever. And then nice trees, lotus blooming, and no unnecessary noise. Very, very calm and peaceful. The only sound you will hear is that of some cuckoos cooing or some birds, the trees moving with the blowing of the wind. Nothing else you will see. Even imagining this is so bringing so much joy in our heart, isn't it? On the other hand, you go to the city where all this constant honking, some people are loudly they are putting on some nonsense music or whatever, something or channels, some news or garbage things are going on. One day they call one person as the most noble person, another day they call him the worst villain. And you forget the previous day they is called a noble person, the next day he is called a villain, then again the next day. Like this we keep on going. So they play with our modes, right? All these newspapers and TV channels and movies and this and that, everything they are playing with our modes. And they are getting benefited by we are selling our modes to these people, and that's all we are selling, because modes create this thing for need for distance gratification. So we have to be really careful in these things. Okay. Wow, amazing words this is. Okay, now let's go to the purport. Are there anyone else would like to share? Yes, Suresh Prabhu. Prabhu, mute. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, one thing is that I want to know what Karhichidi used for it. Actually, I don't see anywhere described in translation why the Karhichidi is used that word. And so what you all explained, it shows that our business is to transform the crows to Paramahamsa.
Yeah. Yes, our business is, that's the hardest thing that Prabhupada has given us, to turn the black into white and the crows into hamsas, right? For that, we ourselves have to be hamsas first, right? If we are in black color, we cannot make another black into white. If you are white, then we can make black into white, isn't it? So that is an important thing. Thank you for bringing it up, Prabhu. In the purport, it will be even more covered more. Karhichit means hardly, means almost you have not described. Like he said the same thing in 158, you know. You have not actually broadcast the almost you have ignored. Just here and there, little bit in Mahabharata and this thing you have brought about Krishna. In the Vedas, little bit you have, you mentioned directly, but indirectly you have mentioned many things, but directly you have not mentioned. So why directly mentioned is needed, because people who read, they may not have the sharp intelligence to get into the depth of this thing and take out the bring out the underlying indirectly how Krishna is described. Krishna likes if he is described in an indirect way, but the problem is for common mass of people that is not possible. For rishis and munis who are able to, who are expert in finding out Krishna even in apparently non-Krishna things, for them it is possible. But for those who cannot see Krishna in Krishna himself, for them you cannot do indirect things and play around with the things, right? They will say this is all boring. That's what Vyasadeva did in Vedanta Sutra, in Vedas and Upanishads and all. Hidden where he has described the glories of Krishna. And so people are not able to appreciate that. Kali Yuga especially, it's very difficult.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. So nice. So shall we do the purport? If you go like this, then it will be 80 weeks, because one day to do only the words and the translation, another day to do the purport. So 2 weeks for each verse. Can somebody read now?
May I read, Prabhuji?
Please, Prabhu.
Krishna. Crows and swans are not words of same feather because of their different mental attitude. The fruity workers are passionate men are compared to the crows, whereas the all perfectly saintly persons are compared to the swans. The crows take pleasure in the...
Every line is so powerful. See, Prabhupada is not differentiating crows and swans based on their color. He is saying it's because of their different mental attitudes. What is the mental attitude of a swan and what is the mental attitude of a crow?
Crows have the taste for the garbage.
Go to
Okay.
Desire to the object.
Okay. I'm not able to get the differences. You're just telling one word for one. If you're telling for crows only, I want comparison in terms of the mental attitude.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Crows,
Yes,
crows goes everywhere and eat everything. Swan doesn't eat everywhere. It's in a pure lake and it drinks only the pure things. It's not like crow which eats each and everything that it sees.
Okay, can you refine it a bit further? Nice way you brought it up. It's nice. It is more. It is a little bit more. You have to refine that same thing.
Prabhupada itself gives the example in one place like swan. If you give milk and water, swan can separate milk and it can drink the milk.
Yes.
It will drink only the milk.
So what does that mean?
So they take only whatever is related to Krishna. Like if people.
No. I know it is true, but I'm looking for a specific difference here. You almost came there. You almost came there. Shiva Prabhu, yes.
Splitting the good and the bad. Differentiating what is good and what is bad.
Crows take bad things even when there is good, right? It leaves the good things and takes only the bad things. Whereas the swan takes, if you mix bad and good together, it will take only the good thing and to leave the bad. Total opposite.
It's like fly and bee also, same example
same
is
thing.
given.
Yeah, bee takes only the Makkika gunamichanti, Madupa gunamichanti, Makkika doshamichanti. You keep lot of this dosham, it will only take the dosham, it will not take the good ones. So that is why the mental attitude itself is different. We can see this wherever we go. The crows, you keep for a crow you keep sugar cane, full pure sugar cane, and you keep the what is that skin squeezed. The water is the juice is taken out, only the crushed skin in the garbage or wherever you keep. Where it will only take the that which doesn't have the sar, I mean the essence, only the chewed that skin, right? Whereas if you give milk with water, milk combined with water with the swan, it will only take the milk and leave the water. So that is the mental attitude. Crows will always look for things where Krishna is not there. They look for things which are non-Krishna conscious. But whereas swans, they will take only, they will not even bother about the other things. They will only take the good qualities from everybody. And why fruity worker is compared to crows? Now let's ask this thing. Why fruity worker is compared to crows? See, if you each line, if you are reading like this, how much you can appreciate Prabhupada.
And the one
Prabhu,
you are
Hare
sharing.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry,
Fruity worker is nothing but like us, we do so much hard work, we get something like promotion or something, and we never get it. So maybe fruity worker is like a crow, goes everywhere and do all kinds of things, but never touch upon the good things, never get.
Very good point.
Even get also, even they get also, they will not take.
You will only get the crushed, that waste thing only, what is thrown.
Yes.
So what it means is that, like you compared very nicely, fruity worker means they work so hard to get the fruit, but they eventually don't get the fruit at all. Right? So
no, sometimes Prabhu, they get the fruit and they will not eat also. They will keep it.
Yeah, they'll keep it. It will just go waste.
Yeah.
So fruity worker actually means Kripana Phalahetaha. Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita. Phalahetaha means he is running after the phala, but he never gets it. So in the process of running after phala, he forgets about enjoying the current thing, the process itself. So he neither enjoys the process nor enjoys the fruit, because his focus is only on the fruit. So he's not enjoying. So these passionate workers are like that, and crows also. If you keep that nice, instead of eating that waste thrown from the sugar cane, he could have enjoyed the juice nicely. But instead, it is enjoying only the waste, the crushed pieces, which is not used by anybody. That's where it is. It is thinking that, oh, that's little bit of that sugar taste that I'm getting from there, that is enough for me. For that, I am willing to go and in garbage, they don't keep separately. This section is for sugar cane. This section is for thrown mango seeds. This section is for apple waste. Like that, it doesn't do. Everything is mixed together. And it has to do so much hard work to get that waste also. And that specific waste also. Right? You work so hard to get this thing, and you are not able to enjoy it also joyfully. Within moments it will be taken away. Means you will be enjoying for 1 or 2 moments, and then some other problem will come, and then you will be buried in that. See how Prabhupada is comparing the fruity workers to the crows. Okay, let's go further.
Yeah, Prabhuji. The crows take pleasure in a place where garbage is thrown out, just as the passionate fruity workers take pleasure in wine and women and places for gross senses pleasure. The swans do not take pleasure in the places where crows are assembled for conferences and meetings. They are instead
conference and meetings. Prabhupada is definitely referring to these crow-like people.
They are instead seen in the atmosphere of natural scenic beauty where there are transparent reservoirs of water nicely decorated with stems of lotus flowers and variegated colors of natural beauty. That is the difference between the two classes of birds.
See, amazing, no? Again, transparent reservoirs of water nicely decorated with stems of lotus flowers. Now, this is very interesting. This water is very transparent, whereas the garbage is the gutter in which the crows enjoy. Can you see? You put one rupee coin and you will see. You'll be able to see that down. No, but in the lakes and rivers where you see the swans move around, you can see the ground where it is that much clear is the water. In other words, it also represents the mind of these two people, the mental attitude of these two kinds of people. There it is so muddled that it's completely contaminated. One person is like your dear, one person is your friend, one person is your enemy, one person is a lazy person, one person is your best friend. Like all these different, hey, one person is my boss, one person is my servant. Like this, we have so many different classes that we don't know what is who and who is what. We are completely surrounded by all these complicated meshes. That's why it is so muddled. We call it muddled, you know. Like you just stir something which is kind of even clean. You just stir something that it will come from bottom to up, right? But you see in a flowing river, you cannot stir. In a flowing river, you can see when the water is really clear, you can see the ground, the bottom, I think. So because the swans are very clean and transparent heart they have, in other words, they won't hide something. There's no duplicity. Everything is very clear in their thought process, in their thinking, in their speaking and acting and everything. That is why the place where they stay also have all these qualities. Transparent, completely transparent reservoirs of water. Yeah, Prabhupada is using these words, choice words. That's why he is reserved the best words for this. Transparent reservoirs of water. He's calling all of them as reservoirs of water, which gives. Reservoir means that which is source of water. It's not like the water which you are keeping in the tank in the top of our flats to come. That is not a fresh water. So reservoirs of water means they always are kept fresh. They are always fresh in its. There is not at all contaminated. Completely uncontaminated water. So because the heart is uncontaminated, the place they stay is also uncontaminated, very, very clean and very neat and clean. And natural beauty again, there is no artificiality here. There is no artificialness at all here. Right? So much for this one word. Let's go further.
Yeah, nature has influenced different species of life with different mentalities, and it is not possible to bring them up into the same rank and file. Similar.
Chanchalpati Prabhu, you might have remembered this line we were talking about. With whom did we talk? Was it Prahlad Vasudev Prabhu? Or he asked one question, then I just quoted this line we discussed on this point. Anyway, so let's go further. So you cannot bring them all together and say that these both will now you all both will love you, because crows cannot stay for some time also in the presence of the swan-like environment. Do you ever see crows in a natural lake, natural lotus thing? No, they can't stay. Because of their lower modes, being in the lower modes, they can only enjoy the contaminated garbage things. Okay, let's read the next paragraph.
Similarly, there are different kinds of literature for different types of men of different mentality. Mostly the market literatures which attract men of the crows category are literatures containing refuse remnants of a sensuous topics. They are generally known as mundane talks in relation with the gross body and subtle mind. They are full of subject matter described in decorative language, full of mundane similes and metaphorical arrangements. Yet with all that, they do not glorify the Lord. Such poetry and prose on any subject matter is considered decoration of a dead body. Spiritually advanced men who are compared to the swans not take pleasure in such dead literatures, which are sources of pleasure for men, who are spiritually dead. These literatures in the mode of passion and ignorance are distributed under different labels, but they can hardly help the spiritual urge of the human being, and thus the swan-like spiritually advanced men have nothing to do with them. Such spiritually advanced men are called Manasa. Also. Because they Manasa also, because they always keep up the standard of transcendental voluntary service to the Lord on the spiritual plane. This completely forbids fruitive activities.
No. Hold on. This is amazing phrase here. Can you read that thing again? We have to hold on when Prabhupada is really getting deeper into these words.
Such a spiritually advanced men are called Manasa also, because they always keep up the standard of transcendental voluntary service to the Lord on the spiritual plane.
Now, someone should explain this phrase. The statement is too deep. Why Prabhupada is using this one? Yes, please.
Prabhu, the spiritually advanced men are called Manasa also because like the people like Narada Muni, Prabhupada, they always keep the Supreme Lord on the core of their heart. Always they will be thinking of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. They will try to glorify. Not only that, they will not only glorify themselves, but they will also try to spread the glories of the Supreme Lord among everybody, among wherever they go and meet. They will just try to glorify the Lord's glorification to everybody, and in this way they will just try to create that atmosphere of spirituality everywhere, and in this way they voluntarily try to give service to the Supreme Lord, as well as they just try to inculcate the spiritual habits to the common people.
Beautifully explained, Mataji, and nice. Thank you so much. But I specifically want the standard of transcendental voluntary service to the Lord on the spiritual. That phrase alone I want. Let's try. You can think over it. In between, Chanchalpati Prabhu raised your hand.
Prabhuji, what I have understood that if we compare with ourselves, when we are listening Bhagavatam, we are here. If suppose we listen to some yoga Baba, then we get attracted to yoga side, or if we listen some dietitian, we attracted. But these people, they are always on the spiritual plane. They are always at the spirit level. They are always fixed at the loving voluntary devotional service. What they are doing, they are only on that. They don't get distracted with all things. This is what I have understood.
Yeah, so you're both of you have come very close to this thing. Let's try to understand this now. First of all, Sevon Mukehi Jihvado Swayam Eva Spuratyadaha. Seva is in our constitutional position, correct? Now, this service has to be done to the Lord. Okay, that is the first thing. Even if you are doing service to anyone else, you should always remember that service is not to the person but to the Lord. Suppose you are distributing some prasadam to somebody who is needy. You should not think that I am serving the poor. You should think that actually they are all part and parcel of Krishna. So by serving them, I am actually serving Krishna. Okay, that is the first point. Second thing is this service has to be voluntary. On our own, it should come. It should not be like imposed upon us. You have to do this, you have to do this. No, that is not that. In this material world, it is imposed upon us. Whereas Krishna never imposes anything upon us. Yatechashi tata kuru, he tells to Arjuna, you do whatever you want. And when Arjuna says, Karishya vachanam tava, whatever you said, I will do. You see the thing there? Give freedom. After speaking everything, they will just leave and go. Narada Muni, this is one of the important qualities of Narada Muni. He doesn't force anything. You have to do this, you have to do this. I have given the best thing. If you want to do it, then whatever your heart, Krishna Paramatma inspires, you do. So that is voluntary service. Nobody is imposing upon us. We are doing this on our own because we like to do. Because voluntary means you want to do, you like to do. Not that somebody is saying to you, that's why you are doing. No. We are all getting together in this thing. We are on our own, we are coming together. Nobody is imposing that, no, every week you have to come for Bhagavad Gita. Every week you have to attend this class, that class. You have to do this homework, that thing. Nobody is imposing upon us. So that is why Prabhupada always used to this word in that Hare Krishna Mantra's explanation. No, there is no artificial imposition. He uses this word artificial imposition. You have heard that explanation of Hare Krishna Mantra by Prabhupada. Right? So that is voluntary. And then one more thing is that it is transcendental, means there is no impact of the modes in our service. Our service has to be totally uncontaminated by the lower modes, the material modes. That's when it can be transcendental. It should come from ourselves. That's why it is voluntary. And it should be a service. Service means doing it for others' pleasure and not for our pleasure. That's why it is service. You got these three keywords now? Transcendental voluntary service. And not only that, it is a standard. 1 minute, Madhu, I'll just finish this. So it is standard also. It's not like one day I will do, one day I will not do. What do you say when you use the word standard? What does it mean? Every day you have to chant 16 rounds, that's a standard. Every day you have to read Bhagavatam, that is a standard. There is no if and if you want to do, you do. It's on our own. We have kept kept this standard. Prabhupada has kept the standard that every day there should be Mangalarti. That's a standard. Every day there'll be Darshanarti. That's a standard. So these are all the standards that our acharyas have established. The same way in our services also, we should not go down in our standard. Our standard has to be maintained. I can't do it just for the sake of it. Then it becomes ritual. But standard means it is spiritual. So you are spiritual, then and the transcendental is non-touched by the modes, three modes, voluntary, completely voluntary. Then then it is a service, doing it for the pleasure of Krishna and the other personalities, not for our own personal satisfaction. And then finally, on the spiritual plane. On the spiritual plane means you are always there. That is what is standard. You are always in the spiritual plane, residents of the transcendental abode, inhabitants of the transcendental abode. Means your thoughts are always with Krishna, even though you may be in your local location, Chennai, Bangalore, Coimbatore, Delhi, whatever. Right? Even though you may be in different places, but we are in the Golok Vrindavan mode. That is transcendental plane. Means we are always in thoughts of Krishna and his dear and his services. These 5 words, so beautiful it is. Sorry, was it Subhashini Mataji supposed to speak? Or just speaking?
No, sir. You have explained that.
Okay. How is it, Subhashini Mataji?
Selfless service, not for ourselves, and it should be for the Lord and for the.
Yeah, that's what service means. Yes, Mataji. Sarojini Mataji, I was thinking about.
Yeah, Prabhu. Not a doubt. I just want you to repeat the 3 words alone. You just said the important things. So you went very
service. Service, first is service. You are doing it for Krishna and the other's pleasure, other Atma's pleasure, not for yourself. It's not for my pleasure. I'm doing it for Krishna and others' pleasure. Then it is voluntary. It's not imposed upon me. It is not artificially imposed. No one is forcing me to do. It is coming on my own. Swayam eva spuratyadaha. It is automatically, it is coming, sprouts forth, He says sprouts spuratyadaha. That is voluntary. Then it is on the transcendental plane, completely untouched by the 3 gunas. 3 gunas means I am doing so much. Why he is not reciprocating? I am doing this. He is not committing. He is not respecting me at all. He is not listening to me at all. These are all in the modes. Right? They give more importance to others. I've done so much. I'm not getting anything. These are fruity workers mentality. Whereas when it is transcendental, you are completely out of the touch of the 3 modes. You don't care. 1 person comes, 10 person comes. You will be very happy just glorifying Krishna. And don't even look at what they are telling us or glorifying these expectations. Nothing is there. That is transcendental. And this is not just done once. Standard means you keep repeating it and it becomes a standard. Yes or no?
Or nityam.
Nityam bhagasya. Nityam. Exactly. That's the word. So if you do one day 4:30, one day 5:30, there is no standard. If you specifically at 4:30 every single day, do your 16 rounds every single day, then it becomes a standard. So that is a keep up the standard. You don't go down on their standard. That consistency has to be maintained. You do some seva, very much passionate about doing, I want to do this, I will Prabhu, I will do this, I will do that. You go on doing it with so much passion, and suddenly we go sleeping. Where they are, we don't know. And when you see that, they're going here, they are going there, like crows, they go everywhere. They are not residing in one place and taking pleasure in doing that. That is why the standard has to be maintained. Basic services you should do nityam sevaya, nitya seva. For that, you need to have some certain basic services like chanting, reading Bhagavatam, doing some specific service, which should be your daily thing. These are things which should keep us consistent in that. So when we are doing some service consistently, we are on the transcendental plane, and that standard is maintained. Hmm? And we are always on the spiritual plane. We are not on the mundane plane. We don't come down. When somebody is reciprocating or not, we don't care. We are just doing it. We are always joyful. On the spiritual plane means one who is always cheerful. He will be he is considered as being in the spiritual plane. Whether he is in Vrindavan or whether he is in Naraka or Swarga, wherever he is, he'll always be on the spiritual plane. He'll always be in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada was in Bauri, he was in Vrindavan. There was no change in his consciousness. So that is how we should take. Sarojini Mataji, is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu, clear.
Read Prabhupada's books like this. Will be very heavily loaded words will be there suddenly used. This verse is actually much better. The next one you go, it will be even double the complication than this. The verse number 11. For this itself, we had to spend 2 hours to understand. So we didn't finish the purport, right? We just got held up here.
Yes.
I'm sorry, somebody raised their hands in between. Shiva Prabhu and one more person was also raising. Shiva Prabhu, please go ahead.
Prabhuji, yes. So in this entire chain of beautiful words, right, standard of transcendental voluntary service to the Lord on spiritual plane, we can apply Prabhupada example in all of these words. Especially, I will give an example for spiritual plane. So for all the sumptuous amount of donations and service that disciples did, Prabhupada told, yes, I'm liable, but I'm liable on the spiritual plane. So it doesn't mean that he has got so much of crores and he is going to return them all in terms of monetary, but he is going to return in spiritual plane.
Yeah, what does that mean? Returning in the spiritual plane means what? You may give me 1 crore rupees, but I will give you taste of Krishna consciousness. That is the return I will give you. I will give you a taste for service to Krishna. I will give the taste for association with devotees.
Yes, correct, Prabhuji.
That is the thing. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for bringing that. Otherwise, we will say, I will give 1 crore, you put my name plate on the main thing in the temple. That is how I want it. You put, I am donating for building some toilets and bathrooms. You put my name on top of the toilets and bathrooms.
Yes, Prabhuji.
This is all fruity workers.
In material platform, both sides are equated materially, but in spiritual platform, he guarantees to give back the taste.
Yeah, actually, 1 crore, even if you give all your wealth, the taste for Krishna consciousness is not worth. I mean, that amount is not worth the taste for Krishna consciousness. So many people are standing and doing tapas for so many millions of years and not able to get a drop of that taste. And Prabhupada has given it all in Bhagavatam, online, phone, app, everywhere it is there. So easy, he made it so easy. Easily available. But then we should have the patience to read these heavily loaded words, standard of transcendental voluntary service to the Lord on the spiritual plane. How much he must have been thinking in his mind when writing these words. Like this, hundreds and hundreds of purports are there. Thousands of purports are there. Reading one purport takes so much time. Imagine how much it will take to read each and every. Okay, whoever was reading it, I think it was Hari Prasad Prabhu. Let's try to close this purport.
Yeah. This completely forbids fruitive activities for gross bodily sense satisfaction or subtle speculation of the material egoistic mind. Social literary man, scientists, mundane poets, theoretical philosophers, and politicians who are completely absorbed in the material advancement of sense pleasure are all dolls of the material energy. They take pleasure in a place where rejected subject matters are thrown. According to Swami Sridhara, this is the pleasure of a prostitute hunters. But literature which describe the glories of the Lord are enjoyed by the Paramahamsas who have grasped the essence of a human activities.
Okay. What is the essence of human activities and what they have grasped? Let's not discuss today. Take it as your um, thinking through for the rest of the week. And please share your thoughts in the group and we will be able to enjoy each other's realizations. What does the Paramahamsas grasp as the essence of human activities? Okay. Okay, I'll stop here. Any final reflections on this beautiful verse? Yes, Prabhu. You were there? I saw you raise your hand. Or was it from the previous? It looks like it was not previous.
Prabhuji wonderfully explained this verse to us, and first time we got into such depth of the transcendental knowledge of this verse. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
What did we do, Prabhu? We are just reading Prabhupada's books, that's all. Word by word, we are just trying to just be patient, you know. The more we are patient and slow and steady, you know, then Prabhupada will speak through his books. We have no credit. And all of you are so dedicated. That's why these things are coming out also. It's Krishna who is revealing the sincerity in all your hearts, and he is the one who is speaking also. We are not doing anything. Thank you so much for all the wonderful realizations and patiently going through. It's very hard to find people who can sit in a purport of Prabhupada for 2 hours. You are all real gems, really. That's why Prabhupada is Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha, you know. We should be Rasika and Bhavukas. How
For
many
that,
such people you can find in?
For that,
sorry, 2 of you are speaking at the same time. I'm sorry.
For Rasika Bhuvi Bhavuka, we need a Sukdev Goswami like you for us.
No, Prabhu, no. Don't use these things. Sukadeva Goswami will come and beat you, not me. Sorry about that. Anyway,
add to his word, like if we self-study, we can't realize this much, Prabhuji. So through the parampara only we able to get the essence. That's what I also agree with Suresh Prabhuji.
That applies to me too, because I can't also understand these things. I was sitting with my Guru Maharaj, with many saintly souls in our movement to appreciate Prabhupada, and then it comes, you know, a touch of their mercy. Chitramata ji, sorry. So
same thing.
Nice of
Going Prabhu, that because of only you we can sit for 2 hours here. Otherwise,
I'm holding you. I'm tightly holding. No, it's the other way around. You are all holding me, actually. That's so nice of you. So we'll stop here. Krishna willing, we will continue. I'm not sure about this Wednesday. I'll try my best because some series of some surgery things going on. So I'll have to see when things are scheduled. And then we'll plan it accordingly. I will keep you informed maybe by Tuesday, around Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, I will be able to let you know whether Wednesday evening we can continue or not. And we will continue later. Thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji's. Hare Krishna, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada.